What if I told you that everything behind the scenes of Euphoria is 10 times messier than the actual show? And what if I told you that one of Hollywood's most beloved actresses, Zendaya, is done, like officially done, with Sydney Sweeney? I'm talking refusing interviews, refusing press photos, refusing to stand next to her on a carpet, all because of one situation that is way deeper than anybody expected. And the wildest part, it allegedly blew up after Sydney started getting a little too friendly with Zendaya's fiance, Tom Holland. We're going there because these rumors didn't come out of nowhere. They've been quietly building for years. And once you see the full timeline, it makes way too much sense. So grab a snack, sit down, because we're breaking down how Zendaya reportedly lost it after Sydney crossed a line that even Cassie wouldn't dare touch. And trust me, once you hear this, you'll never look at Euphoria or its cast the same way again. Let's get into it. The entire internet woke up to headlines claiming Zendaya is refusing to do promo for Euphoria Season 3 with Sydney Sweeney. And when I say refusing, I don't mean she's busy. I mean insiders are saying she will not stand next to her, won't do interviews with her, won't take photos with her, nothing. When this first dropped, everyone assumed it was just about politics because, yeah, Sydney has been surrounded by controversy this past year. From the Make 60 Great Again party to the American Eagle commercial to dating Scooter Braun. So naturally, people were like, okay, maybe Zendaya just doesn't want her image tied to someone messy. But then people started digging, and that's when everything got messy. Because apparently, this isn't about a commercial or a hat. This goes deeper. Way deeper. And according to people who've been following Euphoria Tea since season 1, the tension between Zendaya and Sydney didn't start in 2025. It didn't even start in 2024. It started earlier. Way earlier. And the common denominator throughout the entire thing, Tom Holland. Let's rewind. Back in 2021, when Zendaya and Tom Holland were dating quietly but not confirmed yet, Tom was constantly visiting her on the Euphoria set. Everyone on the cast saw him there. Everyone knew they were together. And this is where things start getting suspicious, because people started noticing that Sydney Sweeney, who worked with Zendaya every day, was liking posts on Twitter about how attractive Tom was. We're not talking innocent Marvel fan tweets from 2017. These were tweets posted while Tom and Zendaya were actively seeing each other. Tweets like, "Tom Holland is so damn fine," posts about him being the internet's boyfriend, posts thirsting after him, and Sydney was tapping like. Now, to be fair, liking a tweet doesn't automatically mean she wanted him, but the timing is what makes this look weird. These weren't old posts from before she ever met Tom. These were, "he's visiting his girlfriend on set today" era tweets, and people didn't forget. Fast forward 2 years, and those tweet likes got resurfaced. Screenshots, receipts, timelines, Reddit threads, TikTok breakdowns. And suddenly the internet was like, hold on, wait a minute. Why was Sydney Sweeney liking thirst tweets about Zendaya's man during filming? And the more people dug, the more it added up. Then there's the infamous interview clip. During a virtual Euphoria press moment, the cast was asked about potential MCU cameos. And out of nowhere, Sydney starts giggling and says something along the lines of, "Spider-Man needs to come save us." Everyone else on the call is stone silent. No reaction, no smile, nothing. Sydney's the only one losing it, like she just said the funniest thing ever, and fans immediately clocked how awkward it was. People started posting clips saying, "I don't know what Sydney thought she was doing, but this is weird." That laugh, yeah, she's doing too much. It added another layer to the theory that Sydney was a little too interested in the Spider-Man side of Zendaya's life. Combine that moment with the tweet-liking drama, and suddenly the suspicion didn't feel so far-fetched anymore. But there's an even bigger part of the story. And honestly, this is what changed everything for Zendaya. Here's where the drama goes from awkward to career-threatening. In 2022, Sydney threw her mom a Make 60 Great Again birthday party. And whether it was intentional or not, people noticed a lot. Blue Lives Matter shirts, red MAGA-style hats, Trump-themed decorations. Sydney denied it was political. She said it was innocent. But the internet did not buy it. Fast forward to 2024 and 2025, and she drops an American Eagle ad that a lot of people believe had racist undertones. There were accusations of white supremacy imagery, people calling it tone deaf, people saying she refused to address the harm. Meanwhile, Zendaya has been open, public, and consistent about her politics for years, especially regarding racism, and especially about Trump. So when people started pushing the idea that Zendaya would have to stand next to Sydney on carpets and pretend like everything was normal, it became a PR nightmare. If she's photographed next to Sydney, people interpret that as Zendaya supports her. If she's seen laughing with her, Zendaya is defending her. If she does interviews beside her, Zendaya is co-signing her views, and Hollywood knows how these narratives spread. One photo is enough to start chaos, and Zendaya is extremely careful with her image. Smart, strategic, protected, intentional. She avoids drama at all costs. So the idea that she would willingly attach her name to Sydney after all these controversies, not happening. But that still isn't the part that allegedly made Zendaya lose it, because yes, politics caused distance, but the Tom situation, that's what reportedly ended everything. Let's be honest, Zendaya and Tom Holland are one of Hollywood's most adored couples. People don't play about them. They're private, respectful, unproblematic, and loyal. So when rumors started flying that Sydney was flirting with Tom on set, that was it. And before anyone says it's just rumors, here's what insiders said. Sydney was making flirty eyes, lingering a little too long, trying to get his attention, doing the Cassie thing in real life. Meanwhile, Zendaya was busy working as a producer on Euphoria, literally running the show, putting in long hours, doing rewrites, dealing with Sam Levinson's chaos. And Sydney is out here trying to get cute with her fiancé. That's when the alleged beef went nuclear. Because Zendaya is the type of person who will tolerate a lot, but not this. There are very few things Zendaya will publicly distance herself from. And someone messing with her relationship? Absolutely not. Once these rumors hit the internet again in 2025, that's when the headlines popped up. Zendaya refuses to do press with Sydney. Zendaya will not appear beside Sydney for Euphoria promo. Zendaya distancing herself from Sydney personally and professionally. And when the stories blew up again, people connected the dots. It wasn't just politics. It wasn't just image. It wasn't just controversy. It was everything combined, but especially Tom. Once the story resurfaced, fans started pulling out blind items, old ones that were posted years ago but never made sense until now. Blind items saying, Sydney trash-talked Zendaya behind her back. Sydney was jealous. Sydney didn't like Zendaya getting all the attention. Sydney wanted bigger storylines. Sydney wanted Tom. Sydney and Zendaya had a falling out. They wouldn't do press together. They had animosity since season 1. And suddenly the puzzle was complete. People even found a blind item where Sydney and Timothée Chalamet supposedly teamed up against Zendaya behind the scenes. Another one where Zendaya made sure pap photos of her and Tom were released immediately after Sydney gave interviews trying to make herself the face of Euphoria. One where Sydney demanded bigger roles and Zendaya subtly pushed back. And when you look at all of this together, it paints the picture of two actresses who were never close and never would be. But now, everything has boiled over. Now let's talk about the real consequence. How does Euphoria promote its final season if its two female leads won't be in the same room? Executives are reportedly panicking because they can't separate them for the entire press tour. They can't avoid joint appearances forever. And Zendaya is the face of the show, but Sydney is the second biggest star. There's also the behind-the-scenes issues with Sam Levinson, the delays, the rewrites, the toxic work environment rumors, and now this. Season 3 is already on thin ice, but now it might be the messiest rollout HBO has ever had to navigate. And let's be honest, fans aren't stupid. They can feel tension. They can read body language. If Zendaya is cold towards Sydney on camera, it becomes a headline instantly. So now HBO has two choices: force the press tour or separate the cast and pretend it's scheduling conflicts. Either way, the drama is going to overshadow the show itself, because when Zendaya removes herself from someone, it's not by accident. And now the online theory is this: Zendaya isn't avoiding Sydney because of PR. She's avoiding her because she doesn't trust her. Look, even if you ignore the politics, the Tom situation, the blind items, the rumors, people are overwhelmingly siding with Zendaya. Why? Because Zendaya has never been messy. She has never been in drama.
She has never attacked anyone. She works hard. She stays quiet. She minds her business. She protects her relationship. She respects people. Meanwhile, Sydney has multiple controversies, suspicious online behavior, industry beef rumors, strange interview moments, a pattern of questionable choices, and zero accountability. So yeah, when the internet heard Zendaya allegedly said, "I'm not standing next to her," nobody questioned it. Everyone went, I mean, fair. When you put all the pieces together, this is the most realistic breakdown. Sydney Sweeney has always been a little jealous of Zendaya. She liked thirst tweets about Tom during filming. She behaved flirtatiously in ways that crossed boundaries. She trashed her behind the scenes. She made public choices Zendaya doesn't want to be associated with. And now, her controversies are too big to ignore. So Zendaya is doing the one thing she always does, creating distance, protecting her name, protecting her relationship, protecting her peace. All right, guys, that's the breakdown of the Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney drama. Whether you believe every rumor or not, the pattern is undeniable. Something is seriously off between these two, and it's been brewing way longer than anyone thought. Do you think Sydney crossed a line? Do you think Zendaya is overreacting? Or do you think the truth is somewhere in the middle? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, this concludes today's video. Be sure to subscribe to LoafTube for future celebrity videos and turn on that post notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. Until then, see you in the next one.